She is known as the goddess of love and beauty, a buxom beauty often portrayed as a bimbo. But that is not all there is to Aphrodite. What if she was older, more powerful, a force the Olympian gods themselves struggled to control, born from the sea, from the very essence of primordial power of heaven itself? Or was she born of Zeus and Dione? Did the patriarchal writers of the Olympian mythic cycle rewrite her story, diminishing her strength to fit their narrative? Join us as we uncover the controversial origins of Aphrodite and reveal the hidden truths about this enigmatic goddess. To understand Aphrodite, we must journey back to the dawn of Greek mythology, to the epic poem known as Hesiod's Theogony. This ancient text, a cornerstone of Greek thought, recounts the genealogy of the gods, their battles, and their rise to power. It tells of the primordial god Uranus, the sky, and his violent overthrow by his son Cronus. Cronus castrated his father, hurling the severed genitals into the vast ocean, and from the churning sea foam, tinged with the blood of Uranus, arose Aphrodite, fully formed, breathtakingly beautiful, the embodiment of love and desire. Born of the sea, she is known as foam-born and sea-born, titles that speak to her primordial origins. Like the ocean itself, she is a force of nature, wild, untamed, and capable of both incredible creation and devastating destruction. But this birth story suggests something even more profound. Aphrodite, born from the blood of Uranus, may predate the Olympian gods themselves. She could be a titan, a being of immense power from an earlier age, existing long before Zeus was even conceived. This origin story paints Aphrodite as a force to be reckoned with, a goddess whose power rivals that of the Olympians. It challenges the traditional narrative, hinting at a hidden history where female deities held even greater sway. But there's another story, one that weaves Aphrodite into the very fabric of Olympian power. A story that places her not as a primordial force, but as a daughter of Zeus himself. This alternative myth paints a different picture of Aphrodite's origins. No longer the untamed child of the sea, she becomes the daughter of Zeus and Dione, a goddess whose name, intriguingly, echoes Zeus's own, literally meaning she-Zeus. Dione, the divine feminine form of Zeus, is often associated with oracles and sacred springs, suggesting a connection to ancient wisdom and power. Her priestesses often were called doves, one of the prime symbols of Aphrodite. This version of Aphrodite's birth firmly places her within the Olympian dynasty. She becomes a princess of the gods, a member of the ruling class, her lineage intertwined with the most powerful deities in the Greek pantheon. But it also makes her subservient to Zeus, even being betrothed against her will to Hephaestus. But does this elevate her status, or does it diminish her? Is she more powerful as a daughter of Zeus, integrated into the Olympian hierarchy? Or does it strip her of her primordial independence, her connection to the raw, untamed forces of the universe? But beyond the familiar tales of Hesiod, there lies another tradition, shrouded in mystery and whispered in hushed tones. The Orphic tradition, with its secret rites and mystical hymns, offers a unique perspective on Aphrodite, one that weaves together both her primordial and celestial nature. The Orphic hymn to Aphrodite sings of her as heavenly, smiling Aphrodite, praised in many hymns, sea-born, revered goddess of generation. These words capture the duality of her being, born of the sea, yet also a celestial power. It continues calling her the mother of necessity. This moniker is particularly interesting as it harkens all the way back to the beginning of creation, to the primordial serpent goddess Ananke, the goddess of necessity, and the incubating force of Phanes, the king of the first cosmos and the demiurgic creator. Does this mean that Aphrodite can be linked back to the beginning of time? We see her importance again reflected in the Orphic rhapsodic Theogonies, when Zeus is tasked with recreating the cosmos, based on instruction from Nyx, the primordial goddess of night. When Zeus had swallowed Phanes and the cosmos had been formed within him, he brought forth this cosmos from his own self and recreated it anew. In this Orphic cosmogony, Aphrodite plays a crucial role. Zeus, in recreating the universe, brings forth Aphrodite as one of the first and most essential deities. Before the mountains and rivers, before the sun and moon, Zeus created justice, order, and peace. And then, He brought forth the seasons and the graces, and finally, Aphrodite, the goddess of love. As the Orphic hymn states, she is the scheming mother of necessity, the force that binds the universe together. Without her, generation could not be, for desire urges necessity into all beings and brings forth new life. This places Aphrodite at the very foundation of the Orphic cosmos. Love, in this tradition, is not just a force of passion, but a fundamental principle of creation, essential for the harmony and balance of the universe. But here's where the controversy lies. Did the priests and writers of the Olympian tradition, intending to install Zeus as the prime power, intentionally rewrite Aphrodite's story? Did they seek to control her narrative, to diminish her power by placing her within their patriarchal structure? The Zeus Dione myth may have emerged later as a way to integrate Aphrodite into the Olympian family and perhaps to control her untamed nature. It is clear that in much of the exoteric myth, Aphrodite becomes diminished. By making her a daughter of Zeus, they could claim authority over her, placing her within their hierarchy. Why would they want to downplay her primordial power? Perhaps they feared her independence, her connection to the primal forces of creation. After all, it is said that no man or god could refuse her. Or perhaps the impact of having an unruly cosmic queen who bowed to no man's whims was too much for a patriarchal society to bear. Aphrodite, born of the sea and the blood of the heavens, represented a power that existed before the Olympians, a power they couldn't fully control. This suppression of female power is a recurring theme in mythology and history. Goddesses are often relegated to secondary roles, their stories rewritten to fit a male-dominated narrative. Aphrodite's story is a prime example of this potential manipulation. However, when we examine the Orphic tradition, it becomes abundantly clear that even Zeus himself saw the absolute necessity of having Aphrodite reborn in the new cosmos. So vital was she to creation that she preceded all other Olympian gods. This clearly indicated the station of Aphrodite as more than a buxom beauty, but as the queen of heaven, unruly, untamable even by Zeus himself. There is, of course, another reason. Aphrodite was not originally a Greek goddess. She was imported from across the ocean in what the Greeks called Phoenicia, or the Hebrews called the land of Canaan. There, Aphrodite was known by other names, such as Astarte. Was the effort of integrating her into the Olympian family a way for the writers to claim her from her Phoenician roots? It is certainly possible. Two origins, two narratives, two sides of the same mysteries and beautiful goddess. Was Aphrodite born from the sea foam, a primordial force older than the Olympians themselves? Or was she a daughter of Zeus, woven into the fabric of Olympian power? The truth may be shrouded in mystery, lost to the sands of time. But one thing is certain, Aphrodite's legacy endures. She's a symbol of love, beauty, and the untamed power within us all. Question the narratives you've been given. Dive deeper into the myths and discover the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface. What if Aphrodite's true power is far greater than we ever imagined?